Alright, what's going on, guys? We are here in Thailand once again, fishing session number 3 of the trip. I came over to a different spot. It's kind of like this really rocky shoreline, so kind of surf fishing with some rocks. It's not really a jetty either. You'll get a better look at it here in a minute. But gonna try just a little bit different environment, a little bit different habitat. We'll see if we can catch some fish here that we did not catch yesterday off of that pier. Doesn't look super promising, but you never know. Sometimes the spots that I think look promising produce nothing, and the spots that don't look promising end up being pretty good. So hopefully this is the latter. But let's go ahead, let's give it a shot, and let's see what we can catch here. Alright, so let's take a quick look at where we're going to be fishing. Like I said, very rocky shoreline, but we are right here on the water, so we got some waves crashing in. What I'm going to be throwing is the same thing I threw last night, so a little split shot there, and then that comes down to a size either 18 or size 20 hook, I can't remember, but a little bit of shrimp there. Now, doesn't look too deep here, doesn't look too promising, but let me just drop this straight down. We got, I don't know, a foot or two of water. Maybe there's something here, but I doubt it. And then if we get nothing here, I'll start kind of casting out a little bit farther, and hopefully we can find some fish somewhere over here. Alright, I had a couple bites down here, really small ones. Let's see if I can hook into one of these guys and find out what they are. You gotta be kidding me. All this work just for one of these guys? Alright, so this is a 3-spot damsel. I've caught more of these fish here in Thailand so far than any other fish. If you notice, I put down my bigger rod and I brought out my ultralight. I put on a size 30 hook because I spent about 10 minutes with that size 18 or size 20 hook on my bigger rod, and I kept getting bite after bite, but I could not hook up with them. So I thought it was going to be something different, but after all that work, these little hooks are hard to take out. But after all that work, all that time, all that wasted bait, all we got to show for it is one of these annoying 3-spot damsels. Got him. Is this another one of those guys? I think so. They always look light in color when you first catch them, and then by the time I get a picture of them, they get dark in color. Yep, so this is going to be, I believe, another 3-spot damsel. I can't believe this is what was biting my shrimp for the last 10-15 minutes. Couldn't hook up with any of them. Put on a smaller hook, and now we got 2 in a row back to back. I hope there's something else down there, but I have a feeling it's just going to be a lot of those guys. Another damsel. Yeah, so this is going to be another 3-spot damsel on the smaller side. I think the smallest one we've caught today. Kind of understandable why I couldn't hook up with like these guys on the size 18 or size 20 hook, because they are really tiny. But I was sure that there was going to be something else down there besides those 3-spot damsels. Oh, this is something different. It's a wrasse of some type. I think it's going to be a new one for the trip and not a new one for the life list if I got the ID right. Let's take a better look at this guy. All right, so I will take this over a 3-spot damsel any day of the week. I believe this is going to be an Argus wrasse. I don't know if my pronunciation is right on that. Come on, guy. Let me show you off here for the camera. There we go. Argus wrasse, I think it is. They should be pretty common here in Thailand, pretty rare in Singapore. I ended up catching one of these guys in Singapore, so I believe that's what it is. I'll double check later, but I do think it's going to be an Argus wrasse. So beautiful little wrasse. So maybe there are some other fish down there besides just these 3-spot damsels. Got him. What is this? It's a bigger fish. Let me not break it off. I think it's is it a wrasse? No, it's not a wrasse. What is this? Let me not break it off. It's on a little tanago hook and it's actually fighting quite well. This is a wrasse. Oh no, I dropped it. I think it was some sort of a rabbitfish. Let me see if I can catch that thing again. The hook is still on, so it didn't break me off. Oh, that's upsetting. That would have been a new species. What is this? Oh, that's not the fish I lost, but it is something new and different. Let me not break this off. This could be a new species. Actually, I think it is going to be a new species. Some sort of a sergeant, which I don't think I've ever caught before. Let me get him up here on the rock so he doesn't drop in the water. Alright, so I lost that fish a minute ago, which was about this size, but it was not this species. That I think was some sort of a rabbitfish, had a different body shape, different coloration. This is going to be some sort of a sergeant species. The 3 that I've caught from this part of the world were the Indo-Pacific, Bengal, and scissortail. This is not any of those. It's a little bit more thick-bodied, and the coloration, both those kind of traits remind me a lot of the night sergeants we have over in Florida. So definitely a new species for the lifelist pending ID. So I will take this. Not a bad catch at all. Got him. What is this? Oh, it's a different type of wrasse. Let's go. Alright, so after getting several pretty big hits in a row, at least 2 big for the tanago hooks, I went back to the larger rod, larger hook, and we got ourselves another wrasse, new species for the day for sure. I don't believe I caught this before. It reminds me a little bit of the silty wrasse I caught in Singapore last year, but I don't think this is it. So, not sure on the species exactly, maybe a dusky wrasse, not sure, but anyway, good looking fish. Let's get it back. And let's keep going. What do we got here? Alright, so I've caught plenty of these guys yesterday. This is going to be a Cook's cardinal fish. Found out it's also called the short stripe cardinal because right here that stripe is short, it doesn't go all the way down like the other stripes do. So I think I caught 9 of these guys yesterday, and this will be our first one here today. But anything besides these 3-spot damsels, I'm fine with. Got him. Oh, it's another little sergeant. Alright, yeah, I don't think this is a Bengal. Even though now that I'm looking at it, maybe it is. Because Bengals do have this coloration, and they do have a green little spot right there, which this one does. I hope that last one I caught wasn't a Bengal that I just misidentified. But anyway, let's get this back. I don't know. I don't know if that's a different one or not. Got him. This one feels bigger too. I think this is the same fish I lost a few times earlier. Let's get him up here. Alright, so I guess fourth time's the charm, because I'm pretty sure I lost this fish 3 times earlier. So took 4 hookups, but I finally got it. I believe this is some sort of a rabbitfish, which is extremely venomous if I'm correct. That is why I am doing my best not to touch it at all. But pending ID, this will be a new species for the life list. I think it's a rabbitfish, which would make it my first ever rabbitfish. So let's get that guy back. I think I hooked up with 4 of those guys. All 4 fought really hard. Glad I finally got one of them. Got him. Is this another rabbitfish? It's fighting like one. These guys fight well. Let's see if I can get him on in here. Yeah, this guy's fighting well. I believe it is. This guy's fighting really well. Oh, I think this is a different species of rabbitfish too, though. I don't think it's the same one I just caught. Let's take a look at this one. Alright, so fairly certain this is also a rabbitfish, and also fairly certain it is a different species than the one that I just caught. So I guess maybe I hooked up with a couple different species of rabbitfish today, and I lost the first 3, caught the last 2. Again, pretty sure these guys are extremely venomous, so trying not to touch it at all, but pending ID, that'll be another new species for the life list. Alright, so the situation is that the tide has been coming in. I think it still has a little bit of ways to go to come in all the way, but over the last half hour, the water's gotten a lot rougher. I can't see the bottom anymore just because it's a little bit deeper, a little bit more stirred up. I got a fish on. I was able to see the bottom earlier. I can't see the bottom anymore, and the bites have been few and far between. So let's take a quick look at this guy, and I think this will be our last fish of the session. Alright, so I believe this is going to be another Cook's cardinal fish, second one of these guys for the session. It's actually the first fish I've caught in maybe at least a half an hour. Like the bites have died down, and I haven't had any hookups since that. I think that last rabbitfish about half an hour ago. So that little guy's back, and I think it's time to wrap it up for the morning session. Alright guys, so that's going to do it. I'm down here trying to hide from the wind. It's been really windy all day. I think it's just going to get worse over the next coming days if the weather forecast is correct. And this was a really rough start. Got pig clean for the first several minutes with that larger hook on the larger rod. Had to switch over to the little size 30 Tanago hook. And even then all we got were 3-spot damsels. But then after a couple of those 3-spot damsels, it kind of turned around. I lost and I caught some larger fish on that little Tanago, switched back to the big rod with the bigger hook, and we got several new species, maybe up to 4 I believe, if my math is right and my identification is right, which would be pretty good. If I could catch 4 new species every session, I'd be really happy. But yeah, that's going to do it for session 3 here from Thailand. Started out rough, but I think it was a success. So hope you guys liked it, and I will see you guys next time.